Got a real talent for you to meet now. He's the Irish actor who over the past few years has starred in some memorable movies, including Batman Begins, Cold Mountain, 28 Days Later, and Girl with a Pearl Earring. And in his latest movie, he returns to his homeland for a film that centres on Ireland's bid for independence. I spoke with Cillian Murphy about The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
I do solemnly swear that to the best of my ability, I will support and defend the government of the Irish Republic.
My Hall was killed because he wouldn't say his name in English. Is that what you call a martyr, Teddy, is it?
You know, it means a lot to me, given that I'm from Cork, where it's shot, and, you know, this is, well, this took place only 2 generations ago, so it's, you know, it's important for me to...
We're back to the 1920s, early 1920s, and the origins of the IRA. Set the scene. And
well, the film follows the story of 2 brothers, one of which I play, who's a doctor who gets involved in the struggle, and then it follows them through the War of Independence and then onto the Civil War and how that affects their lives, really.
It's a fairly brutal movie when we see the British soldiers, the black and tans, doing some unspeakable things to the young Irish blokes. So, you know, was there a sense that you might be opening up wounds that were starting to close over?
I don't think so, really. You know, I think history is there to be learned from, you know, and as I said, time enough has elapsed, and I think you always have to look at these facts to sort of learn from them, you know.
Tell us about your character and the role you play. He's a young doctor, as you said, who's forced to do something pretty horrific. He joins the Freedom Cause and what became the IRA. One scene there where you are forced to shoot a young traitor. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, that's the ultimate... you know, that's the thing that drives the characters. He's trained as a doctor. He's trained to, you know, save lives, and then he's forced through the convictions of the cause to take life, and that's you know, that stays with him for the whole movie, you know. Yeah,
it's a horrible moment in a powerful film. I gather that Ken Loach, the director of the film, had a pretty interesting way of working. He only gave you your lines on the day of shooting.
Pretty much, for the most part, yeah. I mean, that's Ken's unique way of working. You know, we don't get the script, and everything's shot chronologically, so it's a very pure way of shooting a film, you know.
Because I would imagine with most films, you kind of get the script well in advance, and you're working out your motivation for each scene, and often it's shot out of chronology. Yeah,
absolutely, and it gets, you know, you have to be very focused on it. It gets a bit confusing, whereas this is more about the instinct. You rely on your instincts as an actor much more than your intellect, you know. And
I guess there'd be a fair bit of ad-libbing going on as well. You wouldn't necessarily remember the script verbatim.
Well, there's a very, very strong script, and, you know, 98% of what you see on screen is scripted. But then occasionally, yeah, if you feel compelled to, you know, say something, or you feel the character would express this in a certain situation, then you're free to do that, yeah.
Other films you've been in, Batman Begins.
You really think of
Scarecrow, that's a good role.
Yeah, it was great fun, and, you know, it's brilliant to be involved in something like a Batman movie, and you know, there's a great line of actors who've played Batman villains, so it was a big deal for me to get a chance to have a go. You know?
You were nominated for a Golden Globe for Breakfast on Pluto. Neil Jordan, another great Irish filmmaker. Are Irish actors sort of drawn to Irish directors and producers and writers in some kind of, I don't know, hereditary way?
I suppose, well, we're very lucky that we've got a very healthy film industry, and we've produced a lot of great actors and directors, so when there's good stories to be told, it's worth going back and making them at home. And you know, to work with Neil, I think any actor in the world would want to work with Neil, not just Irish actors, you know.
What's next?
I just finished a movie in New York, a comedy, and I don't know, thinking about coming back on stage back home, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, The Wind That Shakes the Barley is far from a comedy, but it's an important story, and one that needs to be told, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.